And now broadcasting from the EFX Sports studio, it's ESPN EFX Sports Radio with Dr. Jeff Golini.
Well, hello and welcome to EFX Sports Radio Show. My name is Dr. Jeff Golini, and I'm here with my co-host, Mr. Brian Andrews. How you doing today, Brian?
Jeff, I'm doing fantastic, but I do hope to get better.
Well, hey, I always like to hear that. Well, hey, this is the very first episode of this show. Pretty exciting, huh?
Absolutely, the inaugural kickoff. So, let's just get this show on the road. Let's get to it.
You know what? Exactly. We just wanted to tell you guys kind of the idea behind this show is we're going to tell the truth. We're going to talk about sports. We're going to talk about nutrition. We're going to talk about science. Everything that has to do with athletics, we're going to be talking about. But, we're going to cut to the chase and we're going to say it like it is. So what a better way to kick it off? It's called EFX Sports Radio Show. Hey, Brian, why don't you tell our listeners what is EFX Sports? Who is EFX Sports?
EFX Sports is a sports nutrition company. This is a brand that is sold literally worldwide. I mean, we're in, I couldn't count how many countries where our products are available in these days. I think most people would know us by our flagship products, Crealkaline creatine monohydrate, and then Carbolin, which is a carb fuel source. We can get into that maybe a little bit later. I think the real key to, what separates this particular brand from any of the others you might see in your local stores, online, whatever, is the fact that we use a lot of high-end technology. And again, we can maybe dig into that a little deeper as we get on. And, a lot of these products use ingredients that the man at the other end of this microphone here invented.
And, the manufacturing plant is right here in Billings, Montana. So for you Montana folks, we're located down in Billings, 150,000 square foot, state-of-the-art, one of the nicest facilities in the country. EFX Sports also has, sales and marketing offices in California, which is where we originated. But you came up with a saying, formulated to win. I think that kind of says it all, but tell them, how did you come up with formulated to win?
Well, again, we're talking about this being a sports nutrition brand. We're about the athlete, and when you're an athlete and you're in a competition, it's all about one thing, and that's winning. So the premise is that our products are designed to help you perform better, to give you that kind of competitive edge. And again, who wants to be formulated for second? This is about formulated to win. So the products have the science and technology behind them to give you that legal edge. Let's make sure we use the word legal in there, to be safe and effective for performance. And you remember like the movie Talladega Nights with Ricky Bobby?
Oh,
so
if
you're not first, you're last.
That's right, man. And as an athlete, we used to say that, winning is the only thing. Losing is not part of the equation, and tying is like kissing your sister, I just thought of that. I remember coaches used to say that because you didn't want to tie either,
Well, and just to give you an example of, you just mentioned that slogan. We did a trade show down in Los Angeles, just a few weeks ago, and I remember standing in our booth, and right on the top of it, there's these banners that wrap all the way around, and it had our slogan. This guy walks by, and he's on his cell phone, and I see him get about 10 feet past us, and he stopped and turned around, and I see him look back, and he came running right up to me. He goes, "Formulated to win, man. That's me, man. Tell me about this. What is this all about?"
And it's funny because we see it all the time, but what are most of the other sports companies trying to sell? They got the gals scantily dressed and the loud music. That's not what we're about, man. What you see is what you get. Everyone that represents EFX Sports knows their stuff, looks the part, and is educated. There's no,
I know exactly what you mean. We want to be a product of the product and be walking billboards. Who wants to take advice from somebody that looks like they wouldn't know the inside of a gym, You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I was going to use the hoochie mama word, but we probably shouldn't say that because sorry.
Another topic for another day.
Yeah, I guess EFX is a G-rated. You know, I mean, we're a family product line. You know, we all have families, and nothing we put out, I wouldn't be embarrassed for my kids or my grandkids to see. You know.
No, but that's not to say we don't have a lot of fun.
Absolutely. I mean, well, you can still have fun at what you do. Now, here in Billings, you know, we're also, besides you guys out there on the national realm tearing it up, you know, we're doing the same thing here in Billings. We really have gotten behind our local sports. You know, we kicked off the year with the Billings Wolves, their first season, and they were powered by Carbolin. You know, they used all of the products, and it was really interesting to see the athletes, you know, start out the season and the way they finished the season. Hey, we ended up winning, and I'm going to contribute that toward EFX Sports Supplements. We kind of continued on with the Billings Mustangs, you know, doing a lot of promotion at those games. We're also the major league sponsor for the Mighty League Football, and I think we've probably done now a dozen different races and such, and we've got some coming up. So, again, you know, we like to get out there, let you talk to us. But really what we're doing is giving out samples. That's what we are all about.
Right. Well, and yeah, I kind of came up with a concept. It was a few years ago, and it just made sense. It's like, you know, we said a lot of different companies use a lot of hype, and they kind of, you know, put this big name athlete out there in front. And a lot of that is just to persuade or, you know, get a consumer to go, hey, wait, there must be something to this if Mr. X uses this product line. Our thing is, let's just cut right to the chase. What difference does it make if the biggest name boxer, MMA guy, football, what doesn't matter? It's what happens in your body. So we say, don't take our word for it, try it. So we're big into the sampling and just saying, look, you put it in your body and then you will see for yourself.
And no matter where you're located, you know, if you're locally listening to this in Montana, or you're listening to somewhere in the country or somewhere overseas, you know, our products are sold globally, and everybody has samples, you know, retail stores, distributors. And if you can't find it, you know, go to our website, www.aafx.com, and contact and ask for a sample. We'll send you out a free sample. As Brian said, you know, our two flagship products, Crealclin, which is the only stable creatine monohydrate, through Europa, which is the largest sports distributor in the country. It's the number one selling creatine. And then what we've been promoting very heavily here, Brian, is Carbolin, which is our new sideline drink, our carbohydrate drink. As a matter of fact, not only the Wolves, but also Rocky Mountain College now will be utilizing Carbolin for all 16 of their sports, along with the Yellowstone Christian College basketball team will be using it. So we're going after the other guys that are on the sideline.
Yeah. Whom we shall not name.
I don't want to name it, but hey, let's face it, man. You know, athletes don't need sugar and salt. You know, that other product starts with a G, but I won't say the name. You know, it was a great product. What was it invented? Back in the 50s or something?
Yeah, that sounds right. Somewhere down in the Florida area.
Hey, you know what? That technology was great for the 50s, but like any technology, come on, we got to get with the times. Could you imagine using the very first cell phone? My first cell phone was a brick, man. It weighed about 20 pounds, and I think it cost me like 5 or 6.
35 minutes.
Yeah, and it cost about $6 a minute. I mean, you know, we're a technological people, you know.
Everything is based on technology. I mean, I would have never dreamed when I first set foot in a gym, let's see, 25, 30, or however many years ago it was, that we would have at our fingertips what we have today. Like you said, smartphones. I mean, literally, I'm sitting here with this little phone that I can get almost any piece of information I could ever even dream of within seconds. I mean, that's like one of these futuristic things you would have seen in movies 20, 30 years ago.
Well, and even talking about, you know, these hydration drinks from the 50s, you know, I mean, back when I first started getting into athletics, there weren't any brands, you know. There was the Joe Weider Muscle Builder, which was something like, you know, 80% sugar.
Yeah, I think it was a crash weight gain number 7. You may as well just have eaten like a half gallon of ice cream.
And then he had Shackley, which was the nastiest taste in protein. I don't even know what was in it, at the time. And Shackley's a good company. But again, that was all we had. So could you imagine still using those type of products with all the technology and stuff we have now?
Oh, no.
Crazy.
That'd be quite a step backwards. Again, we see CDs come out. I mean, even think of VHS, Blu-ray. Now we got this super HD. It's incredible. Hey, actually, you know what? That's a great topic. I just noticed it's about time to go to break. So why don't we go ahead and take a quick break, and when we get back, let's pick up on this technology concept.
Do you know how to properly use carbohydrates to ignite your performance in the field and in the gym? You will now, thanks to this free book by EFX Sports. The Carb User's Guide for Maximum Performance reveals why omitting carbohydrates from your diet can totally crush your gains. Ever wonder how many grams you need for your specific sport? Not anymore. We give you the critical number you need to dominate your competition. You'll even discover the super carb that's taking the athletic world by storm. You must try it to believe it. Go to getcarbolin.com/carb guide today and get your copy absolutely free. Once again, it's getkarbolin.com/CARBGUIDE.
EFX Sports, specializing in high-end sports nutrition products. EFX Sports is the natural sports brand of All-American Pharmaceutical, known around the world for Crealkaline and Carbolin, manufactured right here in Billings. All of EFX Sports products are certified banned substance-free and geared toward athletes of all levels. Billings Mustangs fans, look for the EFX Sports brand in the Mustangs Pro Shop all season long during home games. Special game discounts will be given, or check out all the products at AAEFX.com.
Well, welcome back to EFX Sports Radio. My name is Dr. Jeff Golini. I'm here with my co-host, Mr. Brian Andrews.
Hey.
And this is our first show. In the first half, we were just kind of talking about, who EFX Sports is, what they've been doing around the globe. And we thought, we'd kind of pick it back up with talk a little bit more just about, technology, testing, what goes into kind of, making EFX Sports what it is. So, Brian, EFX Sports, has several certifications. Biggest one, the drug-free.
Yeah, and that's a critical thing. We're talking here about athletes. And let me just take a step back. When we say the word athlete, I think most people think immediately of their favorite football star, baseball, what have you. But, at the end of the day, I think most people consider themselves an athlete. And we say, if you're in the gym, frankly, you're an athlete, and you're the kind of person that needs this. And, we do have high-end athletes. I would love to sit here and kind of name drop a few of them. I can think of 3 NFL stars right off the top of my head who are using our products currently. We had some Olympians who've used ours, but again, the way the contracts work and managers, that type of thing, I shouldn't even go down that road and even name them. But that's all to say that even if you're a weekend warrior, you're a mom and dad that's just trying to get that old, to get the high school bod back, we do have something for you. You need what we're sitting here talking about.
And, our products are designed, as Brian said, for high-end athletes. So if they work for a high-end athlete, they're going to work for the average person. One of the questions I get asked a lot is, are these products safe for kids? And yes and no, because there are certain products that we manufacture that are designed for adults. When we're talking about increasing testosterone levels, that is a common problem the older we get as males, and especially with athletes. So there are natural and safe ways of doing that. Do kids need that? Absolutely not. But what kids need our NF Pro, our protein, because they don't eat enough protein. They need our Carbolin. I've got all the kids that I work with on Carbolin before any event, before practice, before a game. And, the biggest thing I see is some of these kids walking into practice with a caffeinated, monster-type drink.
Well, and I just thought of something. We probably got a lot of new listeners. We've been sitting here throwing out the name Crealkaline, and we've said Carbolin numerous times. you're the inventor. Why don't you just give us just a quick overview of what those are so people understand what the heck we're talking about?
Yeah, that's a good point. You've probably been hearing it on the radio, seeing it in print, depending on where you're listening to this from. Well, Crealkaline is a patented product. Creatine monohydrate has gotten a lot of good hype, a lot of bad hype, and we're going to have a whole show just on creatine in the near future. But creatine has a flaw. It's just not stable. So everything you heard bad about it is because of the fact that instability causes it to convert to creatinine. We fixed that flaw with Crealkaline, so it's completely stable, so no side effects, no loading. So when we talk about Crealkaline, this is a product that helps you with recuperation, recovery, endurance, stamina. Every athlete needs to be on this product. The second one that we've been talking about is called Carbolin, which is our carbohydrate drink, and it's also the number one selling carbohydrate through Europa. And this is an interesting product because it's absorbed as quickly as a sugar, but it's completely sugar-free. And what that means for an athlete is within 5 to 10 minutes, you've got glucose ready to burn for energy. Glucose is what you burn in the first 5 to 10 minutes of exercise. And because it's absorbed so quickly, we can replenish those glycogen levels on the sidelines, during the game, at halftime, along the workout. So you can use it as a pre-game, you can use it halftime, or you can use it as a post to recover.
Well, okay, so just real quickly then, by way of review, Crealkaline would be creatine monohydrate, and we have a term for that. We call it pH correct, because it's based on the pH level of this compound that makes it completely stable. And that's, again, something we could talk about a little more in another show, but that's the critical importance of that one. And then Carbolin, it's essentially pure fuel, and we're not talking about stimulant fuel. We're talking about like what you put in your car, right? A fuel that burns your engine, your body is burning. And this is very unlike, say, a traditional sports, the sugary sports drinks.
Absolutely. And the other thing we were talking about is part of All American Pharmaceutical, which we're located up here in the Heights. It's the big building. You can't miss it.
No way.
We've got third-party certifications that come in and certify our plant to be completely drug-free. So we are testing all of our products for banned substances to meet the WADA, which is the World Anti-Doping Association. So anyone who uses our product as an athlete or, military or law enforcement can be guaranteed that you will not test positive for a drug. So that's why we say it's safe for kids, it's safe for adults.
Oh, fantastic. Well, and I know you do a lot above and beyond what I've seen other manufacturers, at least that I have experience with, on what you do. I mean, all the studies. I know there's this big thing about side effects and how regulated this industry is. I think people are kind of confused when it comes to, say, pharmaceuticals. I mean, isn't the nuclear industry like the most regulated, and then I think dietary supplements number 2?
Correct. With the new regulations that came in several years ago, I mean, we are more regulated than a drug. The difference between a dietary supplement and a drug can make a claim. They can say, our product cures pain. In the dietary supplement, we cannot say that we cure or treat any diseases. But what's also interesting is a dietary supplement has to be side effect free, where I always laugh that a pharmaceutical, I think, has to have a minimum of 100 side effects, and if it doesn't include death, then it's not as effective.
We've all seen those commercials
yeah.
where they give this laundry list, and you think, gosh, I almost think I'd rather have the disease or the main issue that this drug is supposed to cure.
So, to answer that, that myth, our dietary supplements drugs, absolutely not. Is EFX Sports drugs? No.
No
they
way.
Are safe for men, women, old, young, kids, grandmas, grandpas, you name it. That's what it's designed for, high performance.
Well, and obviously these things come at a pretty steep price. In fact, I think if some people saw what the fees are on these on the test, I mean, to hold these certifications, I think they'd be pretty blown away. At the same time, it's something that some of it we voluntarily do on our own. But at the end of the day, again, we've got athletes with multi-million-dollar contracts, and I couldn't even fathom them taking some product of ours and then they get popped for some kind of positive test with a drug or whatever. That's too much risk even on our end, and I know that's why a lot of these people trust us. So at the end of the day, I know one thing is we don't want to be the cheapest brand. We just want to be the best.
Absolutely, and this morning, every Wednesday morning here in Billings, EFX Mobile and Dr. Jeff is out with Mr. Kyle in the zone. We're making stops all around town and, just talking to people. And this morning, a guy came up and said, man, I saw some video tours on YouTube of your manufacturing. I would have never known all that went into making these products. He goes, man, I will never use anything else. You remember those old videos we did from a couple years ago? People are seeing those. I told them that we were going to be doing some updated and some newer ones, but
yes.
They were pretty excited. Had no idea what was behind the big white walls.
Yeah, I think it is pretty deceiving, or I shouldn't say deceiving, but when you see that, you just kind of go, what's going on in there? This is like the Pentagon.
Yeah, absolutely. But, everyone can be assured that it's state-of-the-art manufacturing. I mean, this is how we do things. At least this is how All-American Pharmaceutical does things, and this is how we do things for our EFX brand. We can do whatever we need. We have the technology. We have top-end chemists. We have qualified staff. And what we come out with under our brand is the best of the best because we can do whatever we need to do. Right, Brian?
Oh, absolutely. And I'm just thinking here, we're getting ready to close this episode. And before we do that, let's go back to my thing about don't take our word for it. See for yourself, try it for yourself.
Yes.
Why don't we do some kind of giveaway for samples? I mean, how would somebody contact us? What's the best way to get that?
Well, if you're in Montana, you can call 406-245-5793. And, give us your address, and we'll send you out samples. We've been sending everybody about 5 days' worth. And I'll send you both Carbolin and Crealkaline.
Fantastic.
You can go to the website, allamericanpharmaceutical.com, and scroll down to the right and look for Ask the Scientist. And just send me an email and say, hey, I heard your EFX Sports radio show, and you guys were talking about Crealkaline and Carbolin. I want to try a sample. Or if you wanted to, you could come up to the plant and ask for some samples, and we'll have some available for you.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, just like you said, scroll down. You'll see Jeff's pretty face there. Mine's not going to be there because I have a face for bar light. But just send a quick email and just say, hey, I heard this show, and I want to take you up on that offer.
It's been a good show, Brian, and we'll talk to everybody on the next one.
All right, peace. We out of here.
Thanks for listening to ESPN EFX Sports Radio. Be sure to check out EFX Sports online at aaefx.com. And don't forget to check out EFX Sports supplements everywhere fitness products are sold.